guys. I'm gonna try and be a little quiet. My roommate's bedroom's like right there. So, I figure it's been a while since I've actually said anything publicly about my workers' comp case. Actually, I haven't said anything publicly about it. Just a random mention here and there to friends. But I figured let you guys know why I haven't posted in a while and why you really don't see me walking very much in the videos. I used to walk a lot. I used to run. I used to ride my bike. I used to work construction. But I started working security because I planned on, I wanted to be a CHP officer, but I needed a little more experience. I had to get contacts. I had glasses at the time. They told me to get soft contacts and come back in a year. Well, in the meantime, that was before I got married. Yeah, in the meantime, I had gotten sidetracked and I started working security after I got my head out of my ass the first time. But so I talked to a sheriff deputy friend and he said work security for a couple of years and then go to be a correctional officer at the county corrections, at the county jail. So I started security. I think before I worked security, I went through the corrections core course and passed it. Well, I applied to be a correctional officer in Humboldt County. Yes, I know Humboldt County is famous for pot. No, I can't get you any. Don't ask. It's annoying. But anyways, where was I? Oh, first time I applied, I had the test scheduled. I went for the written test. And, well, the morning before that, like a morning or two before that, my dad had breathing problems. You guys have seen pictures of my dad. He's in a wheelchair. My dad almost died that day. If it wouldn't, no. Yeah, that was after I went through the corrections core course, because I was like a week after I did the first aid and for the little short first responder course. Well, I'll give you the short story of what happened. My dad always had breathing problems. He's a big guy. He's, last I asked him, 240. And it's all like right here. It's all from like here up. His legs are literally the size of my arms. And his arms are bigger than my legs. Always been like that. Because he's in a wheelchair, that's why he's misproportioned. He looks like Joe Swanson. And he hates it when I bring it up. But that's what he looks like. Joe Swanson off Family Guy. Anyways, he's always had breathing problems. He always snored. Like the going joke in Boy Scouts, when I was in Boy Scouts, was that if my dad was there, the bears would never come to the camp. He kept the bears away. That's how loud his snoring was. It was loud enough, my parents' Victorian house, I could be downstairs in the kitchen, opposite end of the house, and downstairs, and hear my dad snoring upstairs, loud and clear. Well, he got a CPAP machine. It helped. It really helped. That CPAP machine actually saved his life. Because he woke up one morning, took the mask off, and just looks at my mom and says, "I can't breathe," and falls back, pretty much passes out. My mom, she was going to be a CNA. Actually, she was going to be a RN, nurse, before my dad had his accident. Well, she freaked, came and got me because I had just gone through the first aid course, like a week before that. Run in my parents' room, my dad's like white. And we throw him in his wheelchair. My dad has an elevator in the house, it's two-story house, attic on the third, is kind of a third floor, but it's an attic. But he's got a 28-foot forklift mast in the center of the house as an elevator. Anyways, throw him in the elevator downstairs. It's, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds from the second floor downstairs. We open the elevator up, I turn around, he's blue. Like, you never realize what color somebody's skin goes when they're like dying because of lack of oxygen. My dad was blue. Like that blue right there. So I hooked under his arms, my mom grabbed his legs, and the wheelchair went bouncing off somewhere. I don't know who kicked it, I don't know who moved it. We laid him on the ground. I unfortunately dropped in a little too hard. When he woke up a week later, one of the first things he said is, "Ow, my head hurts." So I dropped him a little hard. But started doing CPR on him. I freaked out. My mom slapped me and told me, "Save your dad." So I just started doing CPR. Made my mom run back upstairs and get his CPAP machine. And I've never seen my mom run that fast. She has MS. Like, literally should not be walking, but she still does a lot for my dad and me. But she ran upstairs, came back, and my dad, when he woke up, was complaining about his throat hurting. That was partially because the tubes they stuck down his throat. Well, also the CPAP hose is an inch or so. I did the compressions, crammed that hose down his throat. And I mean like past his tonsils down his throat. And then I pulled out, did the compressions, shoved that thing down his throat, did the compressions. Fire department finally showed up, and first thing I said when I saw one of them said, "You want to take over?" He said, "No, you're doing just fine." So I just kept doing it until one of the firefighters got down there and said, "Okay, I'm taking over." And that was one of those, I think it was like 2 days later, I had the written test. I fucking failed that test. And I knew I was going to fail it because my mind was with my dad in the hospital. We didn't know if my dad was actually going to live. We didn't know for a week. When he woke up, that was the best day. Best day of my life right there. When my dad woke up. First thing he did was look at my mom and say, "I love you." That means a lot. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Second time that I applied for the corrections, I went in, did the written test, had the oral interview scheduled. Well, at that point, I think I'd gotten married. Don't ask. Well, she distracted me that day. I forgot about the test, about the interview. Third time, I did the written test, passed it great, passed it better than the second time. Well, between the written test and the oral test, I was working security at Motel 6 in Eureka. You know it's bad if a Motel 6 needs security. It's bad. So, I was working there. This was April 20th, I think. I think it was 20th. Pretty sure. Maybe it was 13th. Yeah, April 13th. 2012. Yeah, April 13th, 2012. Got a call from a room complaining about the room next to him. The guy was being loud, he was drunk, belligerent. I went and knocked on the door, did my job, told the guy that he needs, I started telling the guy, "You need to calm down or leave." And I recognized him. A week before that, I had kicked him out for the exact same thing. And at that moment, at that time, he was put on the no rent list. So I told him, I was right in the middle of saying, You need to either shut up or get out. I looked and said, actually, you're on the no rent list. You need to leave. Well, he's drunk, you know, a lot of people get when they're drunk. Fucking assholes. But he, I want to talk to the manager, I want to talk to the manager, rah, rah, loud. And he storms out of the room, around the corner, down the stairs, heading for the front office. Well, he's loud enough. He woke the on-duty manager up. Like, because the main manager was off for the weekend, had his 2 days off. So they had an on-site manager who was in a room upstairs. Well, she's a heavy sleeper. And he woke her up. She comes downstairs and asked me what's going on. I told her just give her real quick. He's on the no rent list. Somebody rented him a room. I'm trying to get him out of here. So she walks up to him and says, you need to leave now or we're calling the cops. Well, he goes like that to swing at her. Well, you guys will probably find out, probably. I don't take aggression towards women very well. Not at all. He's lucky he didn't end up like the last guy that took a swing at a woman in front of me. Because I grabbed that arm. It was actually his right arm. But I grabbed that arm, spun him around. Apparently, when he spun around, his other arm was coming to punch me. Well, luckily, I had a couple of my friends were there because I'd just been talking to him. And they knew, like one of my friends, his name's Chase. Dude, I really appreciate your help with that situation. If you ever watch this, I really do. Went around the building, was around the corner because he knew what was going to happen. And as soon as that guy's arm came up, he ran, grabbed the arm, and we went to the ground. Well, in the process of going to the ground, apparently my left knee went full speed right into the pavement. Everybody standing around thought it was my 3-saw mag light that was right at the crack of my ass. So couldn't have been my flashlight. But that's what they said it sounded like, was a mag light hitting the ground. So cuff him, cops show up. First thing the fucking cop says when he gets out of the car is, why is he on the ground? I look at him. Are you fucking serious? He just took a swing at the fucking manager. And then he told me, don't use that language with me. Like, then don't ask me a dumb question. And they took him to jail, and I stood up, took about 10 steps, and just went, ow. Walked in the office, sat down for a minute, and honestly, next thing I remember is sitting in the manager's office talking to the manager, look down at my knee, and it's about that big. It hurt. Really bad. Well, I was out of work for 4 months. They found some dumbass to replace me. He fucked everything up that I had worked 6 months for, no, 4 months for. So I got in the job in January of that year. It was October-ish, I think, when I went back to work. I woke up one day, looked, and went to the doctor and said, I'm ready to go back to work. I was sitting there, I'm bouncing up and down on my left leg. I'm ready to go back to work. Well, what he should have done, even though I said I was ready to go back to work, is had me off of work still for another month. I'll get to why here in a second. But 4 months out of work, that was the hardest 4 months ever. I've always worked for everything I have. Everything. So, yeah. Anyways, out of work 4 months, back to work. In about 2 months, I had that place cleaned back up. And then May 19th. No, it was, the first one was May 9th. May. Oh boy. I'll probably put the dates down at the bottom here somewhere, because they're on my paperwork out there. But because it was May was the original injury, May 21st. There we go. And then April 13th, or 12th, 13th, 14th. The days are mixed up because it was 11 o'clock when it happened, but it was like 1 or 2 when I reported it. I really didn't want to go back on workers' comp. I didn't want to. And I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I didn't have to. But it was May 19th and April 13th, I think. Because it was a month short of a year after the original injury. I'm going up the stairs right outside the front office, and my right knee gives out. And I'll explain that later. Oh God, that hurt. If you hear that, hopefully the mic picks it up. But my right knee gave out. I reported it. Didn't want to at all. And I tried to finish out the day. Well, night, because it was night shift. But I had a bubble right here that pop out from under the kneecap, and right there. Sometimes I can make it pop out, sometimes it doesn't. Ow. Damn. Anyways, so reported workers' comp. It took them about 2 months to finally say, oh no, we're not going to cover it. It falls under the left knee claim. Well, in the meantime, my employer, I'm not going to name names, but you could figure it out if you go to a Motel 6 and they have security, at least in California. Apparently, the left knee workers' comp for this knee had been, the workers' comp around my left knee was different from when I injured my right knee. So, right knee workers' comp says it's a compensated injury for the left knee. Well, talk to the left knee workers' comp and they say, oh no, it's a new claim. Well, almost 4 years later, I'm still fighting them. And they're still going back and forth. Well, they started going back and forth over who was responsible, and then they went and started to try and tell me that I'm faking it. You guys heard the pop when I stood up. That's my hip. I can't feel it. Can't feel that one either. So, there's something wrong here. Because it started with the knee, about 6 months, within about 4 months, the hip started, my ankle, my shoulder. That's my elbow. I can't, unless I force it, I can't get my arm above right there. And like, you guys have seen me in videos swing my arm up above right there. I'm forcing it. Like, I have a high pain tolerance, obviously. I can kind of stand on it. But yeah, so that's why you guys don't really see me walk much. And when you do, I kind of walk slow. I don't run. But it's winter. So the last couple of weeks have been kind of hard on me. So that's why I haven't been posting much, because I haven't done much. But my roommate and I are going to start doing a whole shit ton of stuff. Because my mom, the landlord, is having a conniption fit because we're not doing anything. I understand where she's coming from. My parents have supported me for almost 4 years now. So I owe them a lot. I mean a lot. So yeah, I'm just getting it right here. I'm tired. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning. I figured I'd do this, just to let you guys know. So yeah, hopefully this turned out. Anyways, I need to get to bed. I gotta get up early. So, keep the pedal down, guys. Have a good one.